Hey guys, that's my episode of Down Under. Not episode of Down Under, that's me. This is quite chill. Of Witcher 3 Blood and Wine. And this is good. This is good DLC. Sorry I haven't uploaded Witcher in a while. I've concentrated on Doom. I want to get that out of the way so I can do other games.
Regis. Couldn't pick some other place to meet. How long are you gonna make me wait?
I hate these things. I'm gonna die a lot by these things, I reckon. Shit. I better meditate and just, just say we need just in case I die, because, I'm not the best at these kind of games.
Regis! Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here.
Find the way into the clit. Alright. Alright.
Decaying bones. Kikimores must have tunneled into the grave.
Yeah.
Kikimores. Lost your nerve? It's some stench. Kikimore eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash.
Oh, seriously? Dude, that doesn't make sense.
Bastard.
I'd always loot these things, they're really good. And I've got another upload, just multiplayer on Infinite Warfare. I know you're gonna say, oh, why are you playing Infinite Warfare, me? I'm just giving it a go, and just to seeing as bad as it is.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliche can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out, but Bruxa had taken an interest in it.
That's disgusting.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both higher vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Alright, that sounds
Ring's
good.
pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands. The closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Summon some help. Yeah, this is disgusting. I'm just wondering where they're going to take the story. Is it going to be another love story with a curse? I hope not, because it'll be just a rip-off of the same.
was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless. So, perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
I might as well.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask you directly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Gotta ask you the big question, one everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
I mean, that's fucked up.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
Yeah, I want one.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much. But I like being a witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment.
And just to tell you, I have done all the Grandmaster armors. I've got Manticore, I've got the wolf gear, but not the pants, because you know it really does cost a lot. And resources. I think it looks pretty cool, and the dyes are pretty good. I like that option.
Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived, entirely unmolested.
Entirely unmolested? Why would you use that term?
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder, or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Alright.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Optional. Read the Bestiary learn about spotted whites. Oh, I might as well do it for the extra XP or whatever. Spotted whites. Necrophage oil. I really should enhance my oil, but you know, I've got oil, so it's good enough. I would usually fast travel, but I love the scenery. I think it's amazing, actually.
That's it, Roach.
And I've got the Aaron Knight's armor for the horse, which looks pretty cool. Oh god, I hate this sneezing feeling. And I must admit, the pricing of this DLC is actually a very good price for its size. I'm actually very happy with this.
The dressings, bandages.
What's that about?
I'll help him later. I've done a lot of stuff off screen, if you can't tell. A lot of missions, get some more money. I've actually spent more money just freaking buying cool swords and armor. Well, there's some whites right there, but we don't care.
Our guests. Never a good omen.
I might as well get some necrophage oil applied on my sword. Oh, I keep forgetting I did have it enhanced necrophage oil.
Lost your nerve?
I'm struggling to fathom what these things are. I don't know. Like, dog zombies. And I've just done the enhanced mutagen mission with thingy. I love how this game's added extra options. It's pretty good, and I think it's
Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something.
I'm just gonna say this because, you know what I mean? I will die. You saw that in my first part, unfortunately.
None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall say to you, never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around.
That reminds me of that episode from The Simpsons where Homer goes crazy and writes blood on the wall and all that because he goes crazy without freaking TV and I think it's food.
What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. A real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table.
Loot. Yeah, you really don't read too much into it.
Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe?
Yeah. Well, you could dismantle it and sell it for parts you may need. You will definitely need them. Something I did in my Witcher. My first Witcher game. And I've never played The Witcher 1 or 2. I will try and do that. If I do get a PC.
Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
I'm just looking for spoons, but I feel like it's making fun of my team. Spoon key, huh?
Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. Broken neck. Indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy. No claw or fang marks. Probably choked to death. Right arm bit right off. Teeth all knocked out. Somebody tried to force feed him.
I'm just gonna get a drink quickly, guys, and I will be... Welcome back, guys. I've actually done the right thing, I think.
Think it worked. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to
I
find.
just couldn't
given
kill
the
him because
stench.
I've done this throughout the Witcher series. I try to be the good guy and get the best ending possible. But I didn't get that in the first freaking Witcher ending. I did the worst ending in the freaking Witcher ending where Ciri becomes the Witcher and then the Empress is the third ending. I'm sorry that there was a few jump cuts, but I'm just one of those guys who has to perfect everything, if I will.
Make me wait.
hope I don't have to kill it. That's what I'm wondering. Or maybe killing it sends basically ends its suffering. And as you see, I'm not fancy with my sword play. Marlene.
Shh, easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
I'll take you someplace safe.
Because witches are not, they're good people, like they may be after money, but they do the right thing sometimes. Because they're portrayed as mutants. They really are, but they're not as bad as the humans make them out to be. They're technically the arseholes of this law, if I will. Fuck. Another damn loading screen. Pardon me.
So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything. She is safe here and in good hands. She'll soon be back on her feet.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's Marlena. She was once the very beautiful and proud heiress to the Trastamara estate. One evening, when she was holding a banquet for friends, a beggar came to her gate seeking alms. He had a bowl and a spoon with him. He sat outside her fence and waited.
I've heard of the custom. An ancient rite of hospitality that obliges one to give food and drink to such a guest lest he depart hungry. To neglect the custom is to bring great misfortune down upon oneself.
Marlena didn't care a whit for the old customs. She drove the man off, saying she'd rather feed the leftovers from her feast to her dogs than to give the beggar anything. The beggar then broke his spoon, cast a curse. She was beautiful, so he said she'd never wish to look at herself in the mirror again. Since she adored feasts, he swore no one would ever wish to sit and dine with her. And as she even refused him the crumbs from her table, he swore she'd never find a spoon in the world that would sate her hunger.
A harsh punishment. I imagine lifting the curse was hardly simple.
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons, and make her look at her reflection.
That's it? That was all it required?
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But, most importantly, it is now over. Please, don't worry. She will be in good hands.
This is the same soundtrack from the Hearts of Stone DLC.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
I think this is the right thing to do. I just could not do it. She's sweeping. And as you can see, I've got my armor stands in. I think this is a pretty good part of the DLC, buying your own house in, no, not house, it's estate.
Tasty. So wonderful. Thank you.
I think that will teach you not to freaking let beggars go hungry. As much as bad, you can say she did bad by not feeding the beggar, but you know, I would never wish a curse on something like that. Report back to Reggae's.
Come on, Roach.
I don't know, people in the comments will probably say, oh, you should have killed it, man. And I really could have, because it would have made the video look better, but you know, I don't know why I'm this way. That's a little negative thing about The Witcher. Your horse is stupid and sometimes just stops running. I'm not out of stamina either. And it's a funny thing when he freaking spawns off a cliff or in a lake.
Now bring us some wicked
Good mincemeat.
I'm hoping there's a twist like there was in the Hearts of Stone. You find out Ogid when Everett in the Hearts of Stone was not a monster as Gaunter made him out to be. He was actually a simple, just to put it simple, Gaunter wishes kind of took away his feelings, and well, you know what happens. And if you play it, I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a great DLC to The Witcher. I definitely recommend you play it. I'm not gonna fight. I just want to get this over and done with. I'll just jump down here again.
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some resonance.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. Raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned a last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. That stands to be very, very dangerous.
Alright, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mutna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesha Mutna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human blood that in one night he could imbibe an entire village. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the dungeons of Teshem Mutna. Inside it, a cage made entirely of a special alloy of silver, dalvinite, and meteorite steel. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage, sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape. Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
I'll do it.
See no reason to dawdle. Teshem Mutna. Take me there.
In a moment. Just one last thing.
What was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice.
I think I could tell how this
stand.
could go.
The die is cast. High time we set off for Teshem Mutna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms. A vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once. Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from Harwell into this one opened, and from this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care. This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
I always look things
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. Great many beings have breathed their last here.
I might save it just in case if I might die quickly, you know me. I tend to die. You've seen all my gameplays, I do die a lot, even in my Doom series.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
Their emblems,
symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction.
Ooh, man.
Ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells. Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Because I like to learn about stuff. You know.
Whose is this glyph?
Amarun. They ventured beyond the sea.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
I like to learn about the stuff. You know.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Whose is this glyph?
Amarun.
Oh.
They ventured beyond the sea.
I'm just going to do a bit more. Hey, I think that's enough for now.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine.
I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, sends shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
I'm going to use some necrophage oil. It sounds like I might need to use it.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to the overground.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain.
I cannot know what I will do.
We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent. Also, my head started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not not know the true meaning of thirst.
This is kind of fucked up, but if he's doing it,
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm you down. Somehow.
Please. You won't be able to. We must forge through this, that is all.
We just smelled the blood. Lost your nerve?
holy crap.
I shall overcome.
I can hear more coming.
Holy crap, they've actually done damage. And I really should have saved it.
Hold on, I'll bring you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you.
I'm hoping this is the last piece of this mission because I can't render anything over 60 minutes, or it shouldn't be that long. We've lost the cutscene, so
Any better?
Far from ideal, and some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
oh, that's one of those.
Never expected it to be like that. You didn't tell me,
We need not discuss it.
but we do. Because if I'd known you were going to subject yourself to torture,
What would you have done?
found Deadloff some other way.
I did not wish you to use any other way. Did that occur to you?
No, because I thought no being would ever willingly subject itself to that kind of pain. You vampires aren't any different from us in that regard.
I told you, the pain is my way of paying my debt. The enormous debt I owe Dettlaff. If I had to do it again, I would in a heartbeat.
Resonance, it's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates.
Forgive me.
What?
So he felt bad. So there's a good side, so I was hoping on that kind of twist.
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't friends with him. Still killed him. Chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. The bootblack stand. Detlef first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Detlef.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Although I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with.
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest up. Be back as soon as I learn anything.